Discretion is advised.
Happy Monday. You are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 164. We are in patch 7.2 for 12 hours still to go until patch day. By the time you guys watch this, it will be patch day. Today tonight rather, it's actually quite late. We are going to be talking about all the random news around the Azeroth galaxy, developer Q&A highlights with not a whole lot of information, but some interesting things. And dare I say it, we have Chromie lore. What? We have that and much, much more. So make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there is a group that defies convention. A group that stands in the face of trolls and doesn't flinch. A group that strives on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve. A group that eats tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you. She can start a revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell, the PWNCAST Vanguard. Snap back and get faster for the pet battle Grandmaster, Gemma Banks. He's sharp as a dagger with that dapper swagger, Secret Sauce. With holy might as strong as his ancient knowledge, Remedies, the Argent Loremaster. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are PWNCAST.
Welcome back, guys. Guys, you don't know the struggles we've been through today. We've been through some traumatizing events. It's tough with technology, guys. We're learning as we go in this crazy life of internet worlds and stuff and such and things.
So I am. You guys already know the stuff.
We're getting there, but I did bring the monk whose computer's in the ICU, but I don't think it's actually the computer. We may have troubleshooted, but the monk who needs tech support ASAP Rocky, Gemma Banks.
Or computer lessons in general, how to be a better computer nerd.
I think
right?
People make that assumption that because we're gamers that we're automatically the fixer of all things on the computer, right? Do you have friends in your life, Gemma, that just assume because you play on the PC that you know everything about a computer?
Right, and I tell them I don't know anything. Like, if I didn't meet my computer or Warcraft friends, I wouldn't know anything, including how to play Warcraft. Like, the first experience of playing Warcraft was terrible because everyone was level 60 and I had to learn myself. But when my friend told me what Ventrilo was, and you can just talk instead of typing, my life got a lot easier. So,
is that like ventriloquism?
Basically, he did train me well.
It is ventriloquism. I also brought the paladin who wants all the class mounts because he's selfish. Rem.
More like an overachiever. I have 2. On way to 3.
Nice.
And I want all of them.
He's trying to be better than me because I also have 2 and I'm on my way to 3. And it's like a competition me and Rem are having right now.
Ooh, I wonder what...
I didn't know that was a thing, but now that it is a thing, I'm going to beat you, so...
I'm going to be the very best.
FY information, Azeroth isn't a universe, it's the Warcraft universe. Azeroth is a planet.
Duh.
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure you'll tell me. I'm sure you'll tell me whatever I mispronounced or said wrong. I'm sure you will take note. So listen, by the time you guys listen or watch, 7.2.5 is already going to be live. We went pretty in depth last week about all the changes. I'm going to just kind of peruse over some things this week, some important things to note, but we pretty much covered that. If you missed last week's episode, make sure you check it out because we did, give a good to-do list of things that you're going to want to get into in the 7.2.5 patch itself and some interesting things to note. Also, just so that we are very clear, Tomb is not going to be open until June 20th. So the raid is not tied to the patch whatsoever. So the good news is you get to go in and test your changes. Some of the more notable changes, I think, are to the Druid, to the Hunters, and Destro Warlocks. Which I'll see what those changes look like tomorrow. I've already tested them in PTR and was pretty happy with the results, but PTR lies. So we'll test that in an environment tomorrow, and then, of course, the 3 of us will report back with any fuckery that's occurred with our class changes.
Still can't beat me in a duel, so it's all good.
Well, and we'll talk about that. We did back, which means as soon as Secret has his
His
situation.
Already killed him, and that's why he's not on the
Yeah,
show.
as soon as he's got his
Good
situation, our event will be up and running, and gonna kill his rogue.
One of Belle's demons is Kilton, so I mean, she did Kilton him.
I did Kilton him. Flashback to when you could change your demon's name one time. They gave you a one-time change your demon's name. You had to go down into the slaughtered lamb and click on your guy and get him to change your name. You don't get to pick the name, which is kind of sad.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Is it still that way?
No,
It's random.
I don't know. I've never had. I loved the name Kilton, so I just once I changed it once, I just stuck. I was like in love with that. So
I would change my Voidwalker to Evil Gumby.
they don't let you pick the name. Sadly, they just
I know.
auto generate, which is kind of like my imp's name is like Galaxy Winks or some weird shit.
Well, that's where Naughty Nikki started. She was a warlock. She was a lady warlock.
I feel like it's so bizarre to hear when you say that. I laugh.
It's like normal to me. It's the only female character I ever played, though.
I find that hard to believe, Gemma. I'm
My word.
gonna call you
Well,
out and say. Sometimes we act out our fantasies in game. That's just the thing that we do. So.
Moonguard.
Oh, you leave Bottom Bell alone. PvP Brawl this week, guys. Make it happen. Gemma, you better fix your internet situation because it is the 15 versus 15 arena.
We're doing that shit tomorrow.
So this,
Done.
you need to go drive your ass down to your local hardware store and get you an Ethernet cord because that is the
hope that's
problem.
all it is. You
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah, I'm 99.9% sure. If it's not, then your tech needs to come out and troubleshoot your box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? So 15 versus 15 arena. I, for one, am pretty excited because that's a lot of people packed into a very small quarters. Very reminiscent of the tournament that we went through in Warlords of Draenor, which was awful because it was every man for himself. But that is what this 15 versus 15 is. So you need to understand that it's like literally when I heard Paul Cubbett talk about it on the Q&A, he said it was like last man standing type of situation. So
Oh.
that's what he said. He said last.
I thought of it as teams.
I did too,
It's
but he
not.
said last man standing. So in my mind, that's what I thought. I guess we won't really know what that looks like until
Find out.
tomorrow.
Well, that's an achievement from 5 to 5 is being the last person alive. Same concept.
But I feel like if it's 15 versus 15, it should be who's dead first. But maybe he meant last man as far as team goes, because it wouldn't make sense. It would have to be a free for all situation. But when he said last man standing, I think I took that the wrong way. I'm sure.
Excited to heal everybody.
Yeah, they already say free for all. They say 15 by 15.
That's
so.
been our 3 favorite. We've been looking forward to this one of all the PvP brawls. This is the one that we've been, because I love Battlegrounds for the comfort of having so many people as a caster, but I also love arenas. So I think that this is going to be really nice for me to have my love for arenas and still have I'm a sissy. I got to have all my people with me,
It's going to be a clusterfuck.
Well, think of some of the classes, right? Like a Blade Storm or like trying to think of some other moves.
Earthquake with
Just
some
everyone.
lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna heal everyone.
I got tweets last week of people tweeting, yeah, I thought it was
Really?
funny. Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny because I had said that I started saying that because you say it. So it made me laugh. So they had the developer Q&A with Paul Cubbett, of course, which I thought I covered it last week, but apparently I didn't. Maybe it happened this week. I don't really know, to be perfectly honest with you. But I did tell people in an episode that they were going to announce the patch on the Q&A, which they did. I like watching Paul specifically because I'm watching him kind of develop in front of us when he's doing these Q&As. My only concern is he totally has REM syndrome and he says way too much. I think if he can get the uhs and ums to calm down, it would really be a pleasure to listen to him in these Q&As. But his uhs and ums are kind of like...
Well, Rem doesn't do that anymore.
No, Rem's a pro.
already.
He's totally like settled into the role and even has a little bit of a dick personality that he can show the masses instead of being the nice guy and pretending like I'm mean, right? Hashtag Ike Turner, Tina Turner.
So I got this paper.
And remember, they're going to be doing a big class change Reddit thing. They're going to get all the developers on this Reddit post and have people be able to interact via Reddit, and they're going to really kind of hash out stuff. So it's going to be in the next few weeks. They haven't announced that, but that's going to be really important. Here's why. Part of what 7.2.5 is bringing some class tuning on both a PvP and a PvE level. So if you are doing either or, I'm going to caution you, as I did last week, don't freak out about your changes until you test them. Go in and see what that looks like. Talk to other people. Talk to people in your class hall. Look on the forums and see how people are adjusting to the change. Are people telling you to swap your stat priority or get a different type of this versus that? Just kind of pay attention. Don't just kind of give up or freak out. Ask other players that are playing your same class and spec to see where they've overcompensated. 9 times out of 10, people do this stuff in PTR and they're already ready for it for when it's live. So there's probably going to be a lot of good info with your class. So make sure that you guys kind of take advantage. If you have a guild, pop up in guild and say, hey, this got changed. How do I overcompensate? How do I fix it? Just take advantage of that. And then if you're one of those people that likes to be active in having a voice, you want to attend that Reddit thing. I'll make sure that we post it on PWNCAST and we'll talk about it here when we know the date so that you guys are in the know. I already told you guys last week that they're adding 3 new PvP brawls into this, which the one we're dealing with tomorrow is part of that new PvP brawls. The heirlooms is the most exciting thing here, especially with me because I'm starting to level the shaman again. So go and upgrade your heirlooms and the flight path toys, which teaches your alts the flight paths for the different continents. So make sure that you guys take advantage because that's...
Are you guys just gonna buy them?
Oh yeah.
Have you even thought about that?
Oh yeah. I'll buy them. And we leveled all these alts without any heirlooms just fine. But I feel like I would like to just be able to have that increased cushion. I normally level with Rem. The shaman, I was not leveling with Rem. I was actually I started leveling the shaman with Aja, and she was like, I'm really surprised at you. And I said, why are you surprised? She goes, you're really fast with the quest. I said, well, confession, Rem carts me around everywhere and I play helpless so that Rem will cart me around everywhere so that I can multitask while we're leveling. And because Rem is a nice guy, he just doesn't ever question if I have the capability. And she goes, so basically you're playing dumb girl so that he'll do stuff for you. And I'm like, exactly.
It's more of the multitasking, aka squirreling.
I know, my squirrel's really bad. It is 100% bad, especially while I'm leveling. But I had a focus, so Aja caught me in a good day when there wasn't a whole lot to scroll on. So I was Netflixing while we were gaming, but she was like, I expected you to be really slow. And I was like, oh, everybody thinks I'm special.
Oh, you are.
I am, and I'm quite efficient, but Rem is right. I will squirrel smack in the middle of a fight or smack in the middle of something, or it just, I don't know why I'm like that, guys. I try to be better and different. It just isn't the case. So for the developer Q&A, they talked about not a whole lot of things that were important to us. There's going to be a 5-day duration for the Trial of Style. You can change your transmog for free. Originally, what they wanted to do with this transmog situation is they wanted it to be a micro holiday, but they felt like...
What is a micro holiday? Sorry.
So the micro holidays is like the running of the gnomes, or not the running of the gnomes, but like the little 1,000 needle boat dash we just did,
right.
The riding in the balloon. Those are little things that are meant to just give us a kind of a thing to do in game and celebrate something weird. So they decided that for the Trial of Style, because it's a 5-day duration for this event, they didn't want it to be like a micro holiday. They wanted it to be a little bit bigger, and the event will happen several times a year versus the once a year for these micro holidays. So it gives people a chance to do their summer style, their winter style. You get to boo and heckle where the event's going on, which is pretty cool. You get to clap, and I think you even vote, if memory serves me correctly, when we had talked about this when it first came out, which is pretty great.
Should we go look and find a name and announce our winner if we see someone?
I feel like we could be that guy.
Or who's the most stylish on the show? Like, I know you got a few outfits, but...
I'm not really stylish. My outfits are limited to T-shirts, and it's just whatever T-shirt feels good that day.
Well, I'm just a style boy for life.
I am a style boy for life. I am. I should change my name to Connor for real.
For real.
I'm trying to... I don't think there was anything else... he talked about legendary items, and they asked, are you going to increase the legendaries to 3? He said no. I'm not surprised.
I thought they would.
People in chat lost their shit. They were not happy with this response. Well, I like his response, and I appreciate that. So basically, the gist of his response is, we want you guys to have several legendaries in your toolkit to be able to equip on a boss fight if you so choose. So they want you to be able to swap out. If you get a tier piece set for one slot, you have an additional legendary that you can swap out for another slot. They wanted you to kind of have a little bit of creative control what happens with your class when it comes to gear and your legendary. So although I agree with them not increasing it to 3, I think it's great that they want you to have legendary options when it comes to equipping per boss encounter. Now, for those of you who cried about reforging and all of that, although we don't have that, I think this gives you the opportunity to be unique in your setup of your tune, right? I'm sure, Jim, you probably have like whatever your legendaries are, but I'm sure there's probably times heal-wise where maybe you would prefer a different legendary that you might have, right?
Absolutely. If I had more than 2, I only have 2, so I can't. Oh. I've been really trying to get my DPS.
You're not Aja with 7?
No. What about you guys on your main? I know you guys have a few.
I have think the count is 4 on Bell now.
Nice.
And then 2 on all the other tunes.
I did think, and I didn't really think too hard about it, just like we'd be wearing our full sets when we have them, but that's a good point. I didn't even think of it. Also, like you said, you compared it to not being able to reforge. So it is a good way to think of.
Yeah, and I think, although I'm against legendaries in that fashion because it made them not legendary to me, but yeah. I had to adjust my line of thought and just be okay. And now I find myself like I'm on my hunter and I haven't gotten my second legendary and I'm like, what? Really, Blizzard? You're not going to give me my set? Now I've kind of fallen into that thing.
You're grinding for it.
Yeah, I am, like, actively, which is, I wasn't like that before, and I think now I'm open to the concept of being able to have different options for legendaries. It is what it is. No plans to remove the locked 3rd relic slot. Champion item level catch-up mechanics are not planned, so they don't plan on doing anything catch-up related for the champions. They don't really need it, though.
It's pretty easy to level them.
Yeah, that's like super small. And they don't play a huge role like they did in Warlords of Draenor, where so much was reliant on your mission tables. So it's kind of just like an extra.
That's all I was doing. It was just for the gold. Like, literally just the first.
I'm not getting during WAD. Like, you just log in just to do mission table stuff, and then
right.
Yeah.
Imagine we had the app then. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. I was cutting you off, and it was rude. I'll never admit that again. So just take it and run, Gemma. Take it and run, because I'll never fucking admit that to the public again.
Timestamp it, everyone.
What were you saying, Jim?
The app, if we had it for, I was like, what were we talking about?
Yes.
Last expansion, that would have been good.
That made even more goals. Sheesh.
Imagine.
Yeah, I would have. I still use my garrison, though. I still sell Draenor mats. I go and I get my 10K cap, and then I go and
doormats.
No, like the leather still sells. The sumptuous fur still sells. I still make money off that. So it's good things. Now, for the Black Temple, which is the very first raid time walking, everybody's really excited. So
technically it's the second.
Well, yes, because if you're counting Molten Core's event, yes, but that was technically it was an anniversary holiday event type situation. Yeah. So with Black Temple, it's important to note there will be no like queue style situation. You're going to have your group. So you're gonna have to have a pre-made. So you'll look for it on pre-mades. There's no LFR queuing. The reason that they did that, and I actually really appreciated his response. He was very detailed. So the reason that they did that is because they did not want to be bound by numbers when it came to balancing the encounter. They did not want to say if they did an LFR style queue, it would have to be you have to have 25 people or you have to have 30 people. They did not want it to be bound by that specific number on the balance table. What they wanted is for ideally, he even said in quotes, ideally we would like you to go in with your guild. But if you guys don't have a guild, go make a pre-made group, go handle your business and go in through that way. But I liked that they didn't want to bind a number to the run, which makes it a lot easier for people that are trying to do this. So effectively 10 of us can go in and do it if we're feeling,
feisty.
It scales everybody down to, I think it's level 60, right? Or level 70?
It does
70.
scale you down too. Nice.
Yeah, it scales you down. So it scales you down. All your stuff is squished to level whatever. I think it's level 60. If I heard him correctly, I think he said 60.
Why would it be 60?
I don't know. I thought he said level 60.
Outland was 70.
I don't know. I thought he said 60.
Anyways, I haven't looked
I
at the...
asked you if it was 60 or 70, Dick. I'm so done with you.
I haven't looked at the item drops. Is it what's the gear level that drops from it?
I don't know. Well, you know everything. Why don't you go find that information? Fuck off. We talked about it when we first talked about Black Temple. I did give the item level, but I don't know what it is anymore. I hate you.
I like it.
They're putting Armaments of the Legion, former Glory of the Tomb Raider, are weapon appearances that Blizzard used on enemies and wanted to be able to give to players. So daggers and fist weapons had no appearance at time, so they decided to replace that with a title and a pet. So instead of getting the weapon appearances, which what they were doing was taking the NPCs' weapon appearances that they thought people were really going to like, and those were going to be the rewards for the original achievement. Now what they're actually doing for the Glory of the Tomb Raiders, they're actually going to give, it's going to be a pet, and I'm pretty sure the pet is the Centinax.
Yeah, it is.
Is that
Micronax?
Micronax? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at you, pet battle guy.
What's funny, because I was going to talk a little bit about it.
Good,
and
I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
Pet? No, you're good. I'm like, there's a pet. Like, I was kind of zoned out. I'm like, what pet? I was going to ask him. Like, oh,
yeah, no. So that'll be a good segue for your segment later to talk about that. So you do get a title and a pet, which is pretty cool. But I did appreciate that they wanted to not bound a number and deal with too many mechanics. So basically, it's going to be tuned to the side, to the low side of normal difficulty. So it's going to be harder than LFR, but it's not going to be as hard as heroic.
Well, and it also teaches people to raid. Like, I know you still have the raid, the group.
Yeah,
fight,
no, agree. In a nostalgic sense. Also, Rem, the item level is the same as normal 2 Mr. Garrus.
Oh, interesting.
I don't even get a props for that.
Props. Hey, I wasn't listening, or I don't know. Is it just does it come and go, or can we always do this now? I forget. Like, is it here to stay, or is it just like
it's gonna be just like the other time walking, where it'll be when it's up for that event time,
and then it'll be gone,
and then it'll be gone, and then it'll come back. Okay. Now, the other thing that he talked about is if you the legendary upgrade. So the legendary upgrade to upgrade from what it is now to 970. We talked about that. Right now it's the essence of Amenthal, right? That you do the quest to upgrade any precursor, because the new legendaries that drop as of tomorrow are going to be 970. Your old legendaries, you won't be able to start that quest line to get the, I forget what it, I think it's not distilled essence, but it's something similar. You won't be able to get that till Tomb because it's tied to the raid. So
Rude.
We have to sit for X amount of time without upgrading legendary. So pray to God that you get a legendary tomorrow. Maybe it's a good thing that I didn't get a legendary this week on Taco Bell because I've been working on the Hunter. Maybe that's a good thing because maybe I'll get one tomorrow in my Emissary. But if you're going to be sitting around waiting to know when you're going to get that quest line to upgrade your current legendary from, I think it's 940 to 970, you won't be able to get that quest until Tomb of Sargeras, which is the 20th. But it's repeatable. So if you have 2, 3, 4, or 5, whatever legendaries, you can do that step several times to be able to upgrade.
So then maybe it is a good thing I've gotten the bottom 3 on the priest.
Right, because maybe your luck's a changing, or maybe Blizzard just knows you're a dick to me, and they're like, "We're gonna get you back in game."
Could be a real thing.
Then, right after, we have an episode where the three of us talk very in depth about how Blizzard doesn't promote their arenas.
Oh,
Rem sends me a screenshot of the launcher and is like, "Look, the cup is on the launcher," but that's because it was Blizzard's NA Cup. If it was GCD TV, I don't think it would have been on there. Jerks. We're going to talk about that later. So that was the gist of the Q&A. I thought the Q&A was very informative. I really wanted to do my Faces of Lore Volume 4. I had work, and I listened to this stuff while I'm working, so that way I can just highlight what I want to talk about, but I actually listened to the full thing in depth. It was actually a really good Q&A. Not too much like core shaking things that we didn't already know about, so it was just kind of like reiterating some type of things there. So definitely good to know. We are going to talk about the NA Cup 3 that happened this weekend. We'll actually talk about that in my segment.
Crazy amount of
yeah.
My method team didn't play this weekend, so Tempo can have that.
That's weird because I saw them on the list.
Yeah, you saw Reborn and Synergy. Neither one of those is Sea-Doo's team. So.
Do you think they were just sitting out, or
No. It's Reborn, Method Reborn, and Synergy went ho to ho. Well, probably that too. Sorry, boys. Just kidding. They went toe to toe, and
blow for blow? Like whoa.
Excuse me, I meant
We're
to.
just trying to force your segment out. Right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that during my segment because then I won't have anything to talk about. And that would just be rude. So, full patch notes were released. Now, what? Rem, you were right. It is scaled to level 70. Your item level to level 141. It can be 10 to 30 man. I hear you typing. I don't want to hear your bullshit if it's in chat. Oh.
See, it's important.
We're having technical difficulties, so we're going to pause, and by the time we come back, Jim is going to magically appear because he's frozen. Like I said, folks, we are back with him unfrozen. The wonders of the technology.
Lack of.
So Rem was right. It is item level 141, and it is scaled to player level 70. So congrats on knowing everything, Rem.
Right.
I mean, it's
whatever.
my temple was level 70. So.
New events, just to go over it: Trial of Style, Moonkin Festival, Auction House Dance Studio, and the Great Nomergon Race. I'm in that auction house for that dance studio. I'm going to show you guys how to do we're going to call it
donkey roll.
Yes, the donkey roll, guys. That's going to be happening at DitchCon. So good. I
wonder who has the best style in the guild. There's a lot of, like, when I went for the alt run,
like
there was all these. I know you said you weren't that stylish, so I don't feel like.
All my tunes have.
I got some pretty
Manga
good
point.
style.
Just because Ram said it's style boy, now you think you got style because you're relating it to that.
There's a lot of class changes, so I'm going to encourage you guys to read these class patch notes and just see what's going on and go check them out.
No,
There is a ton.
Go to the
You're not gonna
forum.
There's a ton.
Jimmy Banks, you're not gonna like the Windwalker.
Write in caps, everyone.
And we'll discuss reactions to our classes next week.
Hopefully
One
we
of the
can play
things
well.
that I've started doing is I'm playing all of my alts again to refamiliarize myself with the frustrations that you guys are having on these other classes that suffer these nerfs. So, that was pretty much it for the news as we have it. I do want to say congratulations. We did fund our Kickstarter. We went over by, I think, 135, which is really, really nice. I appreciate everybody that backed. So now the real planning begins. Once we get everybody's rewards taken care of and all of that, I am super excited that was a thing. But I wanted to thank everybody that has helped us make this happen because I can't believe we're getting to do this for a second year in a row. So those of you backers that selected a reward, we had several that didn't want a reward, which is nice for me, but sad that they don't want any art, but I guess they just love us enough to give us
It was
money.
more of like a courtesy.
Yeah, and I love that, guys. I super love that. But I'm really excited because the art is really amazing. So thanks, shout out me in secret once he's moved and figures out I think he's rearranging the room, ? I'm not really sure what he's doing. Then him and I are going to duel on the Rogue as a celebratory peace offering to the people.
Oh,
Sacrifice, yeah.
Yeah, me and secret. Like a sacrifice.
We're gonna do a sacrifice to Freya.
Right, yes. No, just kidding. I cleared my throat without muting, and I do apologize. Gemma, what hails from the pet battle world?
Let me clear my throat. We were talking last week. I mentioned all the cool stuff happening, and what I didn't mention was the monk pet and the death knight pets are now a thing. And I did get asked, do I have my monk pet? I don't. I'm behind a little bit as far as like the class mounts and everything. So I was really excited to have a couple gaming days after some like long overtime days worked. I've been working a lot, and my computer would just not connect. And I was so frustrated because I'm behind I still don't have flying. I know I'm a scrub. I want, obviously, the monk mount. I like keep thinking about wanting to play my death knight specifically for that pet, just because it looks like the whelplings. I'm still not fully sure. I remember originally they were talking about 3 different colors of this Death Knight. It almost, like the Death Knight pet, it almost looked like they were getting 3 versions of it. So I'm ready. I really wanted to play some more WoW and get caught up and get these new pets and play some alts, but my computer's just dying, right? So we're working on that, and that kind of led to some of our technical problems pre-show and during show. But what Belle was mentioning was this Micronax pet. And the good news about the Glory of the Tome of the Raider achievement is I'm kind of planning on raiding a little bit more. So I feel like this achievement, maybe getting this pet, I don't think I'll have it that soon because, it's, when a new raid comes out, you're just trying to down the bosses, let alone get all the different achievements for, Glory of the Tomb Raider. So it just, it looks like, I don't even know what to call those things. It makes me sound like a scrub. Did you see the picture of it, Belle? This Micronax?
Yeah,
Looks
so
like
it's basically, it's like the Centinax. It's the little Centinax that goes around on Broken Shore. So it's like the commander ship where they have a lieutenant commander on that ship who's sieging down, like they're attacking Broken Shore. And if you get caught under that Centinax, you're dead because you stand in green and you die. But yeah, I thought it was a nice little... what does it do? Does it pew pew? Is that...
It must pew pew. I feel like, I know, what kind of a pet would it be? That's a great question.
Probably mechanical.
Or maybe magical. Mechanical. Yeah, that makes more sense. Because when she said pew pew, I was thinking of like a laser move.
So was I. I was thinking of like a laser.
Right, but it can be a mechanical pet with magic abilities, right?
Firing my laser.
Laser. Because I think there's only just... Like a mechanical pet with magic abilities is good, actually. Like the mechanical Pandaren Dragonling, right? It's one of the best PvP pets, and it's great against so many pet tamers because magic is weak against, mechanical, and having a magic ability as a mechanical pet is very unique. So it'd be, interesting. I didn't even think of the possibility of the move, so thanks for that, guys. Always like to ask you random questions, and that's good. So I don't have any of the new class pets. Did you guys, for your alts, do you have the class pets? I don't have many alts.
What the hell are you talking about with class pets?
Like there's the new ones. There's the Monk and the Death Knight, but I know there's the Druid.
Oh, okay. No, I don't have any of those.
You don't have, because the one is Groot. It's like Brute. I know. I've never really heard you be excited.
Oh, now you just spoke your language.
There's a Groot one? Is it like a little Trenant?
It's called Brute, and it just looks exactly like the Blossom Agent.
Trenant, whatever it's called. Shut up, Rem. Fuck off, mate.
No, what is that? I thought he was just asking you a question. What is that? Well, I mentioned Brute before and how it's like a wannabe Groot pet, but I feel like you weren't excited because it doesn't really look like Groot.
I feel like I didn't understand what you were saying. I'm going to look right now and see what.
So she does the gym thing where she's not sure on what to do or what we're talking about. So
he's like a little bearded elder tree.
Yeah.
One of the ancient protectors. Then,
yeah, he's like I like him. Where do I get him from? I can only be a druid.
No, but I think it's level 95 or 105.
Okay.
And you get it at your class order hall, actually. So I remember someone corrected me because I haven't played many alts this expansion, and there's so many like class-specific pets. There's a shaman one. They were talking about adding a rogue one. There's the monk and the death knight one. Yeah,
we had a whole conversation, you and I, because you asked me about my demons as pets, and that was what you were talking about. And I apologize because during that entire conversation, I squirreled and didn't really understand what we were talking about. And it just clicked to me. Oh, it was different? Okay.
Yeah, it's different because actually I didn't realize how many warlock pets there were. So I thought that was really cool that you were able to answer that. I felt kind of scrubbish. I knew about all the pets, but didn't relate them to warlocks. So
because I feel like I just let you down in a conversation we had that I pretended to know what you were talking about, but had no idea. Okay,
we wouldn't even be even at that point, right? Like how many times for me to you, but I'm really excited to try to get. I got to get caught up on alts and getting some of these pets from my collection because a lot of the class ones are very cool and have unique abilities, right? So look out for the Micronex pets. I want to do the pet battle dungeon so bad and my computer's broken, guys. I hope to have that issue fixed so I can have maybe some video footage for the show or at least being able to talk about, smashing them out. So, not much for this week, but a lot of good pet stuff for, the game. A lot of good stuff.
I'm going to go buy that Brute after the show. I'm going to go log in and buy it because I remember you telling me, and I feel like it was one of those moments where I was half paying attention.
Yeah, that's okay.
I do that now.
Every day when I try to talk to her.
doesn't mean I don't love you guys. It just means it is what it is.
She's a busy lady, you know.
Good word. We're gonna get you fixed up though. I think it's your Ethernet cord. We troubleshooted. Windows said that it wasn't picking up his connection, and we've troubleshooted. I'm pretty sure his cord just took a dookie. People don't say that word enough, dookie, right? It's just like an underused word that I feel like speaks to the heart of a lot of people in certain situations.
I don't know. It said a lot in Mr. Pandaria.
Ooh.
But it was Duker.
Duker, because you ooked in the Duker. With that being said, Rem, Chromie, what the hell? Tell us more. Tell us more.
This is news to me. So Chromie is a member of the Bronze Dragonflight, and the Bronze Dragonflights are the group of dragons that pretty much control not only time travel, but just the time waves, like all the intricate different time and the events. And so Chromie has been quite important to us in pivotal events in the past, the future, and the present. And so we actually first see her when it was back in Classic WoW or Vanilla, and that was in Andor Hall when it's in, I believe, Eastern or Western Plaguelands. I forget which side. Either way, you help her fight off the scourge that's in there, and you help each other to kill the lich that's rolling over it. I believe it's Araj. And also in that same area, you help an old family of it's
midgets. Is it midgets? Say midgets, please. Say midgets. Just
no,
say
they're just humans. But the red paths. If you have quested through that area, just south of Andor Hall, there you have the red path where you have a little girl that's looking for a doll. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but
yes, the little girl's lost doll is very creepy.
Yeah, so Chromie is involved with that, and so we see her again in Wrath of the Lich King, and so you have her as a representative of the Bronze Dragonflight at the Wormrest Accord, or the Temple, and so you also have her in Strathome, where you go in normal mode, you just run through helping Arthas, and you uncover the hidden what was it, the plagued grain that was along the trail up into Strathome. And so that was because the Infinite Dragonflight, which is a polar opposite of the Bronze Dragonflight, that's a whole different thing. But so they were hiding the plagued grain, and Chromie went in and said, hey, we need to let everyone know that Arthas isn't completely crazy, even though he is. And we help him uncover the plot from Mal'Ganis, and they go and do that in normal. But in the heroic version, there's actually a Bronze Dragonflight that's actually fighting one of the Infinite dragons, and that's where she's letting you know that there's go help them. And if you do it within a certain amount of time, you get the most hard obtainable mount in the game is that Bronze Drake, because who doesn't have that? If you don't have that, I feel bad for you. Go get it. It's easy. It's easy. So during Cataclysm, after the effect on the world, Chromie moved from Andor Hall to a tower, and so she sends players to Darashire, and that's another set of quests that she's involved with in the timeline of. She pretty much doesn't alter anything. She keeps everything steady to where it should be. And that's where the Infinite Dragonflight are in contest with them, making it their own liking and making it pretty much bad for everyone but them. And then we see Chromie in Miss Pandaria. And so she's involved with the Timeless Isle. And you see Kairos Dormu, which, as you may or may not know, turns out to be a dick. And little interesting thing about Chromie is her name to us and familiar it's a familiar I can't talk familiar because she's familiar with us and she's comfortable with the mortals. We go by we call her Chromie, but her name is actually Chronormu, which is actually interesting because I learned a while back that the male and the female names for the bronze dragonflight, Mu at the end implies that it's a male, but Mi at the end implies it's female. So maybe Chromie is gender fluid, or she just likes to represent themselves as a little female gnome.
I sexually identify as a toaster.
Yeah.
So.
But I thought that was interesting because that's I think it was like a couple weeks ago. I was actually, because she's more important with Heroes of the Storm and with the new scenario with her, and I was actually looking into more of the stuff, and it was actually pretty interesting.
I think Jim is really confused. Jim, there's a joke in my house. There was a time in our lives when my now adult child had said she was a certain type of sexual, and I said, "What is that?" And she had said, "I love everything." And I'm like, "So you love the toaster then?" Because I sexually identify as the toaster. So that's basically where
I've never heard that, and it was so random.
Joke, yeah.
And then you saying that made me think I saw a video of people that get married to nature, and I saw them like really.
Yeah, they
like,
were not married to nature; they were working nature, and I
Right,
know the exact what you're talking about. I've seen people humping dirt. Okay, we derailed Rem's segment. Sorry, Rem, I hijacked. My bad.
So I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I did watch and I saw some playthroughs of the scenario for Chromie, and it's mind-boggling. Like, it's back and forth, and she's talking to herself in the past and in the future, and I definitely would not go in there high. Just saying, like, it's you're going back in time and in the present all at the same time, and you're helping her defend her past self from an enemy. You'll see all that, but it's actually pretty interesting, and you get pretty cool awards from what I saw through the playthrough, and it'll be actually really fun. I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. But because of what was going on, so they brought Dragonflight because of when Deathwing died and the powers were pretty much drained from the aspects. And so a lot of them their powers are muddled, not as powerful. And so the Bronze Dragonflight actually don't have the perfect sight of what should be and what should not be. And so they haven't been altering anything lately. And so that was actually pretty interesting as well. But that's Chromie. Yeah.
I am really glad about that. I wanted the background on Chromie. I think you did a fantastic job, even though we hijacked. I'm excited for people's reactions with Chromie. So let us know when you've been in there and you check that stuff out. Tell us what you think. Make sure you comment.
I always think of that girl dressed up as Chromie when Chromie's mentioned.
I know this. I do the same exact thing, guys. It's really embarrassing that that's the thing.
Oh, by the way, she's had 3 different ages, but different versions of the Drake. She started as a wepling, a young adult, and then a full-blown dragon, but now she's back as a whelpling, so I don't know if that's
the timey-wimey stuff that's happened with...
I don't know, yeah.
It's different stuff that we've been through timeline-wise, where we went back and...
It was real.
We went back and we're supposed to save our mother, but the man slept with her, and then I was the dad. Like, that whole Terminator scene, I feel like, is what happened in Draenor, so... pretty sure I told the story wrong, but that's okay, guys. Don't judge me because I'm tired and have not seen it.
I was thinking more Futurama where Fry becomes his own grandpa.
Oh, it was kind of that same thing, like sent back in time to stop a Terminator Warbot only to get a girl pregnant, and then it ends up being your son was the leader of the underworld or whatever the fuck. Anyway, I still am confused by Terminator. Don't understand that whole, like, every time I think about it, it makes my brain hurt. But that's how I felt with Draenor. I did not understand. I'm pretty sure it took probably 12 episodes for Lycan to explain to me what was happening. Do you remember? And I was so like, what do you mean? He even had to draw on a piece of paper the 2 different timelines and explain to me where they paralleled and what was going on, because it was not clicking in the noggin.
The good news is it wasn't for a lot of us, so
right.
Like, a lot of us were appreciative of
a lot of timey-wimey, wibby-wobbly type of stuff. So let's talk PvP. The only reason we're kind of pushing relatively quickly is we don't know how long Jimma's computer is going to hold out because it's having issues. So
That's great.
Yeah, we're trying to just help out so we don't. But So for Bell's PvP, let's talk about what happened this weekend at the NA Arena Cup 3 semifinals. A lot of good stuff that happened this weekend, and I actually have a nice little visual aid for you guys here. I did pull the final recap from the game here. Now, I wanted to talk about Panda Global for a little bit when it comes to the gameplay here. Now, if you guys remember, I want to say it was probably Arena Cup 1, Panda Global kind of came out swinging, and they actually kind of decimated Method really, really sadly, and I was kind of embarrassed because of that gameplay. So with one of the matches on the lower bracket, they actually, Method pretty much wiped the floor with them, but I was really, really surprised to see Panda Global not take that. And I know that I'm not being true to my Method roots here, but I was actually really shocked. So I don't know if Panda was just like having an off night. I just felt like I expected to see better. Now, Tempo Storm, obviously Tempo Storm was the winner here. I'm not going to say that Rem was right, and I'm not even going to give him any of that credit. I do want to say...
He's always right.
Well, here's the thing. So... obviously, Method did not make it as far as I wanted them to as far as my Method team. Synergy and Reborn did go up against each other in Synergy 1, which was really surprising. But I was appreciative of that because I got to kind of see these guys in a different light. So I got to actually check out the type of like gameplay that they do. I'm still unconvinced, so we'll have to wait and see if I'm going to like Synergy as much as I like, you know, the other Method stuff. Poor Noah and friends. These poor guys, they're trying really, really super hard, and they're just not getting as far as they should be getting.
Were they in the previous tournaments?
Yeah, I think we've seen them maybe in the first cup. I want to say that we've seen them in the lower bracket as well, along with, I forget what that weird name of that team is that always makes me laugh when I see it. It'll come to me, but I'm really old, guys. I can't think of the name of it. Damn.
I think just the...
I think it's like 3 Paladins or something is what their name is. It's like something. But yes, Tempo Storm did take the win. So overall, Tempo Storm did win the cup. That's great, Rem. Fucking hallelujah. Good bits to you. Yay, yay, yay. Blow me cool. But this weekend, what I did, if you guys followed me if you follow me on Snapchat or on Twitter, you saw me post a picture. Jim was very jealous. On my left screen, I had World of Warcraft. I think I was dealing with an alt. My right screen, I had the WoW Championships up, and then I made a delicious steak dinner that was not from the Ponderosa Rem, before you get excited. And I had homemade strawberry lemonade, and I had, and asparagus, guys. It made my pee smell. It was super exciting.
You eat a lot of asparagus. I forgot how you say that.
I eat asparagus at least once a week. It's really good for your body. Asparagus is just a natural detoxifier. It's really, and it's delicious, guys, with a little bit of lemon and some sea salt. Oh, just the life. So, guys.
Tell me you cut back on that sea salt.
Yeah, because I'm bloated, but I am not going to cut back on the sea salt.
Because you're salty.
Yeah, I am salty because the Tempo win. Rem was kind enough to remind me of the weekend's festivities, but so guys,
it doesn't seem like the same teams winning all the tournaments. Like
and it's good.
You
don't really want it to. In truth, you want there to be, you want there to be some difference there. It's important for that. So
it would make for a good story if like one team is decimating all the championships, but then like BlizzCon
someone else wins. Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Well, the team that she mentioned that just doesn't win, and they're in the losers bracket, like just a chance to fight for a spot.
Noah, friends, they're trying. Noah, you're trying really hard with you and your friends. I think that's amazing, but I'm pretty sure you need to go back to high school. Just kidding, guys. I'm joking.
Just for the shot to be in the tournament.
I think it's nice to see people in here and doing it and just putting in the effort. These tournaments are really hard, and people probably don't know what they're up against prior to doing that. I like seeing your non-standard method, your non-standard Tempo Storm, your non-standard, Splice. I like seeing your little guys that are coming up for the opportunity to be the underdogs. Yes, they don't have the tournament experience these other guys do, and clearly that shows. But I think it's great that they're giving the good fight, and the only way you get better is by going in there and doing it. So I think that that's really, really good, and I enjoyed it. But it always makes me want to when I watch this stuff, and I'm super crazy when I watch it anyway, but it always makes me want to
You
get in
are
there.
intense, definitely intense.
I know my husband says I have Tourette's, but
Valid.
Only like when the arena switch goes on, it's just like fuck horse.
Oh,
shit.
it's even worse at the floor on BlizzCon. Oh,
Well,
God.
that's kind of where, like, when I first, not to cut you off, Ren, but like when I was hanging out with her, or when the tournaments were going on, was that first BlizzCon where I kind of got to know her a little bit, and we were watching the tournaments, and she was very intense. I was like, holy, she does love this.
I want to tell you guys a secret that I've never admitted to anybody. So, most of you that know me on a personal level know that obviously I've had children, and sometimes I pee when I cough or sneeze. It's just a standing joke, and we all know this. Both years, while screaming at what was going on stage with the fighting, I did pee because my body was so intense that I was full body yelling that did happen. And I'm confessing that only because I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, fuck, next year, God, I really got to get a better grip of my bladder because it's just really bad. But I've been working on that, actually. It's lessened. I've been getting better with that. Not that anybody cares, but my just to give people, but just for people to get an idea of how intense I'm yelling, or how my whole body is into it so much that the pressure of me jarring myself to scream,
the fluids will just not stay.
It did incite me to I didn't full on urinate, guys, so I wouldn't like walking around in my own filth. There was some tinkles. There was a little drippage. Last year was really awful because I remember thinking to myself, please don't yell. Just don't yell so that you don't do this. And Sea-Doo was almost down, and he had like 3% health, and stuff was happening. And I want to say it was the second to last game, and yeah, it happened. So
it was a pretty good tournament too, so I mean, it was worth.
It's like watching a basketball game live. When you're watching it live, even though you're still seeing it on a monitor, most cases because of placement where you're sitting, just knowing that they're right there, and the feeling the crowd, like it's good. It's really good for me, personally. Basketball
season's over. Are you guys sad? It's over.
I'm not at all. I'm sad that you're sad. That hurts I don't want your feelings to be hurt. So I am my feelings.
Thank you for.
So, Jimma, what did you do this week in the Craft of World?
Well, what can you do when you don't play Warcraft, right? Because, like, I really did want to play Friday. I've been, like I said, not to just talk about work, a lot of OT, right? Trying to hustle some money. And Friday's my day off. I purposely didn't work the overtime. I'm trying to get on, and I'm yelling out loud, like how Belle yells. I was so mad I could not play. I had to go into the real world. And I actually had a good time, but I wanted to play WoW. I wanted to play alts potentially and keep going. So, again, what do you do when you can't play WoW? You talk to people about WoW, and at work, there's a lot of ex-WoW players, and like the little new guys, like a little surfer, like hippie stoner guys, like, oh, I remember, I'm going to reactivate. Like, just, you can tell when people are trying to not play WoW, or they haven't talked to someone who's still playing WoW. They really like it, and they really want to resubscribe. And then my other coworker, who I've known for years, great healer, she's been playing on a legacy server, on the Burning Crusade legacy server. Are we allowed to talk legacy servers on this podcast? No, they're not good. And I said, don't play on a legacy server.
We just can't officially condone.
No, and I'm like, what are you doing? But it was interesting to hear her, like the old way the game was. But I'm like, no, play current. It's much better. And yeah, so it was just fun to talk a lot of Warcraft, and you can just see the people that are not active. They still have those great memories, and I want the memories to be real. So I want to be playing WoW this next week.
Jimma said I immediately told her we couldn't be friends because she was on a legacy server.
I deleted her off Facebook. I'm like, you don't even watch our podcast.
I know, because she's legacy. Legacy people don't watch podcasts.
It's true, yeah. And when you guys were talking at the start of the show, I'm like, oh, did we miss Dark Moon Fair? Because I really wanted to heal you guys and fight for that chest.
Yeah, well, no, we did miss it this month, but
sure.
I think it's the end of the month. Because
it's
twice a month.
You can heal us tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not.
You'll have an internet cord. We're not worried about that. You're going to be good. We're going to fix you up.
I'm going to be good, guys. Sorry. So what did you guys do in your week in WoW?
Rem, what did you do in your week in WoW with your braggadocious mounts?
Not really braggadocious. I just got the mounts. So long story short, I was caught behind on the priest a little bit on the breaching of the tomb. And so I caught up on that and did a lot of broken shore things. I actually did a lot of rep grinding for the warden chest. Didn't get anything, obviously. Right now I got the mount for my priest and the paladin, and they're actually really cool. I really wasn't not liking the owl mount, but now that I actually know the backstory behind it, because they actually made a story for what happened with the Titans and all that for them, it actually makes it a little more interesting. And the effect from the feathers on the wings is actually annoyingly cool. And the paladin one, everyone's like, "Oh, we get a horse, yay!" It's actually pretty badass. I like it. I'm gonna use that as my everyday mount.
I agree, and it's funny that you mentioned that. So while Rem was getting his mounts, I was doing the same, guys. I was not slacking this week on my pimping. Like, we were doing it. So I want to talk about, Rem's been grinding the Warden's kit because he wants that costume, the Warden's costume. I've been grinding Nightfallen because I really want the woven, I think it's the lay woven carpet.
Lay woven, yeah.
I really, really want that thing. So I get really excited and I'm thinking it's going to be the week. I get the fucking Valajar mount. Guys, I'm not complaining. It's a beautiful mount and it's great. I'm excited that I have it. But I wasted my RNG on the Valajar mount, and I need to waste my RNG on the Nightfallen mount. So,
what's the definition of complaining?
Well, I feel like I was being ungrateful because I got a mount. You know what I mean? But I didn't get the one I wanted, so I felt like I was like, oh, like it's. Oh, really? But then, cool, I got this. But then it was really sad because I was like, I wasted all my good juju on, the mount.
It's like, oh, a new car. Oh, it's a Chevy.
It's a Chevy, right? I love Chevys. Belle got her mount. I was happy to see that they did some tuning with the boss for the destruction. They did some tuning for that. I noticed because it was quite simple. If you have not done it yet, it's really, really simple. Use your puppy to consume the shields on the first set of ads, then use your Voidwalker for the second set of ads. Halfway through the encounter with the second ad, you want to pull out your Voidwalker or your puppy again to tank. Have your Voidwalker will tank the ads initially, and then when it's time to kill the shielded ad, you'll need to pop out your puppy again, and then basically void repeat. And I use the Infernal for the very last round because the imps use the Infernal's area for the imps, and that way I can DPS down the boss. So it was pretty good. If you're a warlock and you struggled with this, it's because the ads you're not removing the shield from the ads. So if you're struggling with the boss, double check that you are using your fel puppy or singe magic, whatever dispels that for your pets. Just a little side note for your little warlock guys. I did do the monk also, which I really, really enjoyed the quest line for that. I enjoyed what we had to do to get it. It was
actually want that mount too. So.
And I thought visually I wasn't really gonna like it. Pictures don't really do it justice though. When you're on the mount and you're like flying around, then it's like you're yeah, it's really, really, and I appreciate that all the flying mounts don't have wings. I really appreciate that my horse doesn't have fucking wings. I appreciate that they didn't just wing it out.
Well, they fly then.
They didn't just wing it.
Yeah, like I feel like they just throw wings on shit because it makes sense. I don't need you to put wings to know it flies. Headless Horseman mount does not have wings. Now I'm working on the Hunter and the Shaman. Guys, I'm going to talk about this in just a second, but Hunter, she's far behind in a lot of things. It's Taco Bell, so we got to work. Now, my mage, Rem, had me change my mage's name to Portobello, which is kind of cool, because like Portobella, like we thought it was kind of cool, but the most one I'm excited for is I changed my shaman's name to Bellamental. Right? Yeah.
Should have been Mental Bell.
Bellamental. But I started working on my shaman. I'm going to tell you guys why. Of the mounts and the class halls and the gear, I think the shaman was the favorite. The shaman's mount, all three versions are legit as fuck. The class hall, I love the maelstrom. I love standing in the class hall and just watching the waves crash around on the rocks. Like, I'm super jealous because I feel like the shaman was the favorite this round because everything was beautiful, which is why I'm leveling the shaman.
I don't know about favorite, but the team that was behind it definitely portrayed it very, very well.
Agreed. They captured all the essences, and the shaman mounts are pretty cool. I think, what did we decide? The elementals, the fire, the enhancements, the
lightning,
the white one, and then the blue water one obviously is resto. Really good job.
Can I ask a gym question?
Of course. How does gravity work?
13
I
reps.
figured that out. So there's different kinds. Is it just the shaman, or there's different kinds of all of them?
It's different kinds per spec. When you swap over specs, your mount will look different.
Yeah. So
Mind blown, right?
Yeah. You get it on that class, and you get it for all the specs within that class.
So it'll be a different color. Like Demonology's horse is purple, whereas my horse for destruction is green. Isn't that great? Hashtag fidget fucking spinners, because the mage disc no longer looks like a mage disc. It looks like a freaking flying fidget spinner. What's funny is before I saw someone post that in a group, I thought the same thing when I seen someone on Twitter posted a screenshot. They were excited they got it. And I was like, that's a fidget spinner, dude. That's subliminal messages. That's the government trying to get in our heads and make us buy fidget spinners.
Could you imagine if they made that a toy in the game and everyone's in Stormwind spinning a fidget spinner? And no, you're right.
Trendy is a disease. And when I see one day you never heard the word fidget spinner, and every day, every other word is fidget spinner, 5 seconds later, trendy in consumer capitalism is the reason this country is going to hell in a handbasket. Anyway.
Do your kids want one or have
Completely
them?
off topic, but have you guys seen that Vine guy where he's the vape god? Who does the vape? He's all like, he does the vape, and he's like, everyone's just a hater because my vape is just dope.
Oh, he doesn't know how to do it? They made that into a really...
He does a fidget spinner thing with his fucking...
Stop being trendy, guys. Just stop
Let's be trendy. I picture Rem in, what are those, the romper?
Oh my god, the lace romper.
Got a new romper for the ditch.
The lace romper, even. I could see all of you guys.
Seeker said that he would rock one. If someone buys it, I'll rock one.
So
it just has to match his hat.
It's funny that you guys said that. So off topic. We're at the end of the show anyway, but completely off topic in my Sims. Each of you on the show are in my little Sim stuff, right? So for your guys' party outfit, I all had you guys the same outfit, which is essentially a romper, and it's just different colors. So you guys totally look like the Backstreet Boys romper crew. I don't know why. I should have. Right. I'm gonna have to post that on my Twitter because it's really
so funny.
I have no life, guys. This is my.
Well, like to your point, you play so much Warcraft. Sometimes you need another game.
I played more Warcraft this last week than I've ever played in my entire life. I have been on.
Really?
I've been on, except for the weekend. My weekend.
Yeah.
But also, think of all the WoW you played, and you only have the same amount of mounts as Rem. Rem's gonna kill you.
But think of all the alts I've leveled and fully geared. All of my artifact weapons on my alts are comparable to Bel's already.
Right, Rem?
Like, I'm about to get concordance on Taco Bell on the Hunter, and I've got it on the Monk. I've got it on Bell.
Can you log into my account and play for me?
I'm just really efficient with my time. I do it in an order. I log on Bell. I do all her emissary stuff. I do whatever's open that she needs to do. I go check out what AP. I do my mission table. I do all that stuff, and then I go in order of what's important. I then go to Wreckin' Bell, and then I go to Taco Bell, and then now I'm doing Bellamental. So
seeing the graphics on your computer made me just realize I'm so far behind. I'm just like, I just need a new computer so bad.
Some people, when they've seen screenshots, they're like, dude, really? Yeah, but Bertha's beefy. She's making noise earlier. I was tapping her, and Rem said he was gonna call the computer abuse hotline. Guys, I think we've had a great show. I would love to be able to give you guys more, but I am running off very little sleep, and I just need.
Yeah, I didn't get my nap today. Shit.
I really tried to take a nap because we didn't go to bed till 4 a.m. But.
Well, I think you did very well for a tired Bell.
And tech issues, but we're gonna be all right, guys.
Right?
Shout out to Secret. Live long and prosper. We don't know if you're
as far as tech issues go, though, we did pretty good. That could have been way worse.
I agree.
We were stressed.
We made it happen. Guys, comments on the show. I'll get caught up with comments soon, I promise. If I haven't commented on you last week, I didn't ignore you. I've had other things. I've been gaming. I've actually been gaming a lot. I kind of took a break from doing the Bell background stuff and just kind of enjoyed gaming. And just I kind of took a little break, and I throw on Netflix and get in there and do some gaming, and it's been really, really nice. So don't be offended. Don't go away. Just go away. Don't go away.
See you next week.
Don't go away angry.
But guys, DitchCon's happening. Thank you so much for backing. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. Give us a subscribe. If you're new to PWNCAST, we're going to go ahead and get the on out of here, guys.
Insane in the Bell brain.
Insane. Ain't got no brain.
No, we don't got no brain. Guys, I'm starving.
I could eat. How do you like your steaks? I think you said you like them
Bloody.
rare. I like them rare.
Bloody. Like literally has like sears it and then it's good.
So I like before I wouldn't care because like I could eat a bloody steak. I really could. It doesn't gross me out. But I'm just like I don't know. I just think of gross diseases. I just want to have it rare, not so bloody.
What are we bloodying?